So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Integrative Nurse Coach Gathering. I'm so happy you're here tonight. My name is Carly Mertz, and I will be your host. Tonight, we have a very special topic and guest that I hope will be incredibly valuable to you. Our session is called All-in-One Nurse Coach Platform. Discover how MNCP powers your practice. So if you're looking for ways to streamline your business, become more efficient with the time you spend on admin work, and spend more time doing what you love, being with your patients, this webinar is going to be for you. And I am thrilled to introduce our guest, Britton Ertman, Chief Operating Officer at Profi Incorporated. Britton holds a Bachelor of Science in Economics with a concentration in business management from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. For over 13 years, Britton has helped people and organizations leverage technology to make their work easier and more effective. He's worked with individuals just starting their own practice to large organizations, and he deeply understands the unique challenges of building and growing a business. And most importantly, Britton has partnered closely with the Integrative Nurse Coach Academy's Chief Operating Officer, Ronald Kanka, to bring the MyNurseCoach platform to life, supporting the success of hundreds of nurse coach students and alumni. So tonight, he'll guide us through a real-time look at MNCP, including demonstrations of how to set up a nurse coach package and create scalable group coaching programs. So if everybody just wants to take a moment to settle in, and we'll start out how we always do. Let's get grounded with a little awareness practice. So feel free to just get comfortable, relax in your seat. You may want to close your eyes or lower your gaze and release any tension you feel in your body. And let's take a few slow, deep breaths at your own pace to come together as a community of like-minded nurses. Let us open our minds and give space for new wisdom during this webinar. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A at the bottom of the screen, and we will save time at the end of the webinar to answer them. So Britton, feel free to come back with us, and I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carly.
No
I appreciate
problem.
everyone for having me on today. I'm very excited to walk through the MNCP platform with you all. We're going to have just a couple quick slides. I promise no death by PowerPoint, and then we'll spend the majority of our time today going through the demo of the software platform. Feel free to add questions as we go. I'll have a couple pauses throughout the demo to answer a few questions. Should take 30 to 40 minutes at most. And then at the end, we'll have plenty of time for any questions that didn't get answered. I'm happy to stay on and I can showcase really anything that we need to see. So let's get going. Let me just share my screen. Give me one sec. All right. So as we think about the MyNurseCoach Practice platform, really what we've done is taken our software and specialized it for the nurse coach program. We've been working extensively with the students and graduates that go through the Integrative Nurse Coach Academy. And we've been, if anybody has already been through that and had access to MNCP within the last few weeks, we went through a very significant major upgrade. So even if you've seen this before, what you're about to see is something brand new. So we're very excited to showcase that today. All right. The MNCP platform was developed with the intention of providing comprehensive support to INCCP nurse coaching students and after they graduate, offering everybody a robust software platform. And really what we're hoping to deliver is a one-stop shop where you can do everything from manage an existing practice if you already have one, or get one off the ground and giving you all the tools it takes to do that. And we'll go through much deeper in terms of functionality, but what we see often, especially for practices that are getting started, is they have a whole slew of tools that they have to buy, purchase, manage, thinking about all of the different touch points that you might have with a potential client. And we know at the end of the day, you're really looking to deliver coaching services to clients. And running a business becomes something that can be quite complex when you're getting off the ground. So we are a centralized one-place solution where your clients have a single point of login. They can see their client journey with you. They can communicate. You can do scheduling. We have all sorts of different progress tracking. And we have billing and payments, and we'll get into all of that today as well as reporting. So in terms of slides, that's all I have. We're going to go ahead and transition over into the demo now. And let me pull that up right now. All right. So when you register to the MNCP platform, you're going to register as a nurse coach practitioner account. And that's the view that we're looking at right now. So I'll just kind of give you a quick orientation. But on your left-hand panel here, you'll have a list of menu of different features. Obviously, we have a calendar where you can sync your external calendar. We'll cover off scheduling. We have notifications that are system generated that you can see here. We also have a whole suite of email and text notifications as well. You will have a list of clients that will automatically appear if a client registers through a service, or you can add clients manually and then you can send them offers. We have secure messaging, which is a two-way communication channel between you and your clients. Services is where we'll spend a good chunk of our time today, going through everything from coaching packages and coaching programs to individual sessions. Offers is how you sell your service. You can set up an unlimited amount of offers for different services. We have a form suite. Those forms can be standalone or those forms can be added into a service. And then we have billing and payments. We use Stripe as our payment software. So you can set up a Stripe account and then connect that Stripe account to be able to take payments through the platform. And then we have a suite of reports and dashboards. We actually have some brand new ones coming out in the next 2 to 4 weeks, so very excited about that. So the use case that we're going to be talking through today is a nurse coach practitioner who has a few different service offerings. One of them is going to be a nurse coach package. One of them is going to be a health coaching program. And then we're also going to sell sessions as a standalone in case somebody wants to just buy a 1-hour session with you as an example. We connect currently with Gmail and Outlook. So we have a calendar sync capability, and that will pull in any of your external events into MNCP so that if a client is scheduling time with you, it will block anything on your external calendar that you shouldn't be bookable through. You can set up your availability through a scheduling engine right here, the dates and hours that you're available, and combined between your availability and the external sessions that you have blocked, your clients will not be able to see specific events on your calendar. They will just see dates and times that are available to book you. At the back end of this, we will spend some time going through the client experience as well. So I'll take you through the process of what a client would see and the client experience. Next, let's come down here into the services area. So we split our services down into two different categories. One is called engagements. If you previously have used MNCP, you would have thought about this as where the packages were located. We now have one service type called an engagement, and it's really any kind of client experience you would like to build. If you want to build a coaching package, you can build an engagement and then you can label it whatever you want. So if you want to call it a coaching program, a package, I can show you the labels right here. We have service, program, course. And then we also have individual sessions. So the difference between these two is an engagement is going to have multiple steps involved. So right here we see the word journey. The client would see a welcome message, an intake form, and then have their 4 sessions available to them. Whereas a session is something that they're just going to book as a standalone time unit. So they would book one individual nurse coaching session, and that's all they're purchasing or that's all they're signing up for. On the services menu, We've added new features to give you section headers so you can organize your services. So if you have different types of programs, maybe for different groups, you can put those in different sections. All of this is now drag and drop, which is brand new. And let's go into the nurse coaching package and we'll start to show some of the new features we have as well. So we have this new journey builder on the left. This welcome activity, which I'll show you when we get to the client side, is going to personalize the welcome message to the client. So let's say our client name is Anne. When Anne registers and enters into her package, this is going to say welcome Anne. You can add banners, text, images, video files, files that are available for download. There's a lot of different formatting options for the content that you can put in here. And then for each service you create, we have different activity types you can add to it. You can add an unlimited amount of activities. So we have sessions, we have forms, and we have content. Content is really any reading materials, which would include videos and file attachments. And we'll showcase modules when we look at the coaching program here in a minute. Any client that has been registered into a package, you will have a clients tab right here where you can see the client progress. So as clients come in, they will schedule time. You'll see how many sessions are scheduled, how many are remaining. We'll cover off offers in a little bit. You'll be able to see which offer they came in from, and you'll see their progress bar. And from anywhere in the platform that you can click on a client name, I'll show you this example over here on the clients menu. If I click on a client name, you will see an engagements tab. And this is brand new as well. You can view any service that a client has enrolled in. You can click on that service. You can see their progress of that service. You can see form responses for that service. You can schedule with the client either from the calendar or right here. If you need to, you can unenroll. And then every client has details, notes, and history that are also available in the client record. So this is brand new. We're very excited about this. And let's say, for example, we wanted to add some notes at the end of this client's package. We have this brand new feature too that allows you to customize the package just for this client. So if I wanted to add a specific content note for this client, I could go ahead and add in session notes right here to their service without impacting any other clients who are enrolled in this package. And we will see this from the client view, so you'll see exactly what they go through. On the coaching program side, this is where we'll be able to showcase modules a little bit. So an activity, the way to think about that is an activity is anything a client will do. They will read a content activity, they will submit a form, they will schedule a session. Those are activities. Modules are organization of activities. You can add sections that expand and contract. You may not need modules. Let's say you have a coaching package of just 2 sessions. You probably just want to have a welcome message, maybe a consent form, and then 2 sessions. That's great. But if you want to build a coaching program that's 50 steps long, you're not going to want a client to open up the service and see all 50 steps at once. It's going to be overload. They're going to be a little confused and it's going to feel like too much. So you might break those 50 activities down into 5 sections. And then within those 5 sections, you might even put a sub modules. You've got, expand and contractible sections. So it's breaks it down into much more manageable pieces for the client. So in this example, the client would read a welcome message. They would go through onboarding and complete a client intake form. They would complete a consent form and coaching agreement here with a signature at the bottom. And this is structured over the course of 3 months. They get multiple sessions on a specific topical area. All of this is editable, very easy to change. And you can reorder as needed. So it's very easy if I wanted to put this activity below this session, you can just click and drag and redrop. You'll see any changes you make have a little yellow exclamation mark. That means it hasn't been published. And if I click this publish button, it will make that live for existing clients and new registrations. Sorry. For all services, oh, the other thing I'll cover real quick, I'm going to go back to this coaching package. So There's a lot of different ways you can think about delivering services. So services can be one time, right? They come in, they register for a program, they complete that program, that's it. Maybe you sell a package of sessions, and a package, just so we're clear, is a bundling of individual sessions, or it could technically be a bundling of group sessions too. But let's say they get 4 hours of 60 minutes each. Um, what that would be is as they schedule those 4 sessions, they go down to zero. When they have no more sessions available, their package is complete. That's a one-time purchase. You have to continually resell that time. Another great option that we offer is the ability to sell a subscription model. So you could, for example, say 2 sessions per month at a certain rate. So you could buy 4 sessions standalone in a package. You could buy 1 session as an individual ad hoc booking, or you could set this up as I'm going to pay a certain dollar amount per month and I'm going to get 2 hours of coaching every month. So in here, you can see there's this little icon that indicates it refreshes. So as their subscription renews on a monthly basis, they would get 2 new sessions added back to their package each month. Within the next maybe 30 days, we're going to be adding the ability to schedule sessions out into future periods, even if they haven't renewed yet. So you could actually book them out for the whole year. And then as their monthly renewal hits, those sessions are already booked for them. So that will make that very easy to sell subscription renewals. Offers is a brand new suite of features as well. An offer is anything that you would use to enroll a client into a service or a client would use to enroll into a service. We have what's called a primary offer. You would think of this as your default list of available services. In this example, you can see we have a discovery session that's free. They can book time with you to see if they're interested in signing up for maybe paid service offerings. You'll see I have an individual 60-minute coaching session. I have group coaching as well. And then we have our packages. One is a per month and the other one is a one-time cost. And then we have a one-time purchase coaching program. If you click on any one of these, let me take you to the client side of that. Hold on. There we are. The client will have access to a really nice looking landing page. You can add a description that will appear right here. They will have different options. In this case, we also have the ability to offer installment payments. So what I did for this was set up, you can pay $600 up front, or you can pay me $150 a month for 4 months. They can click enroll. It will take them through a booking and a checkout process. They'll put in a credit card, the purchase will go through, and then they'll gain access to their program. Before I move over to clients, secure messaging, forms, and payments, this would be a good time to just open up any initial questions that have come through. I can take a sec and kind of showcase a few things.
I don't see any questions that have come through yet, but if anybody has any, feel free to write them in the Q&A at the bottom. Oh, okay. Is there a way for a collective coaching practice to use this platform, or is it only for individual providers?
That is a wonderful question. We so far have primarily had individual practices, but our software is set up to handle Teams, which is a workspace where you can have an admin and multiple practitioners working together inside the same workspace. It is available on the iNurseCoach platform. I would definitely reach out to the team and we can have a conversation to better understand those needs and requirements. I could even set up a separate demo to showcase all the team features, but we have the ability to set up services where you could have multiple practitioners delivering services within the same service. You could even have a package, for example, where a client would register to the package, pick the practitioner they wanted to work with, and then the sessions in the package would then get booked with that person, but everybody would share the same service. So there's a lot of really cool features we have around hosting capabilities, but I'm not going to go too deep on that in this demo. Definitely we have that. That's a primary use case that we've built the platform for as well.
Okay, we have another question. Does this platform work well with in-person visits?
Yeah, it does. And for example, let me take you into a service here. I'll just go ahead and show you a little bit of editing. So within each session, you'll see here these 4 sessions. What I really did was I added and set up one session. I gave it a banner, a title, a description. You can set up duration, whether or not when a client books it, is that auto confirm the session with you or do you have to approve it? Um, these are individual sessions. If it was a group session, I could offer seats. And then when that seat cap was met, it would lock out any new bookings. And then you can also set up restrictions if a client's booking. For example, I don't want to receive a booking within 4 hours because it's too quick. I need a 4 hour minimum notice. And time slot interval is like the booking cadence, not the duration. So can I book at 10, 10:30, 11? 60 would be at like 10, 11, 12. And what you're asking about right now is location. So we have inside the application, the software, included with your license at no additional cost. We have our own video session software. It allows you to access the client record right from the meeting. You can take notes that get saved to the client record right from the virtual meeting. And that is like a supplement or replacement for Zoom. We also have the ability, if you use Zoom, like Zoom, to just connect Zoom to your practitioner account, and then you can use Zoom as a location for the session. We also have 2 other options. One is in person, so you could set up a physical address. You could choose whether the client sees that address before or after the booking is confirmed. And then we also have the option for a phone call. So if you don't want to be on a video camera, you can choose whether or not you'll call the client or the client will call you, and then you would put in the appropriate number, or you would get that in the confirmation yourself. So any one of these 4 options work great.
Thank you. So someone else said, thank you so much for this presentation and demo. This looks amazing, and I appreciate the adaptability to be able to create different packages. Most of my packages will include one-on-one or group coaching programs. However, could I also offer online continuing educational programs? Does this platform allow for one to create video webinars that someone could use or sell as continuing educational program offerings?
Yeah, so the way we view this, when I use the word package and program, those are kind of common terms you find in the industry and in the market. What we're really building is an engagement where you can put in any content you want. So for example, if you were trying to do continuing education, we have trainers that we sell to as well, people that kind of focus in the training space. When they're building an engagement, they might call that, for example, a course. And it really comes down to the type of content you're building. So I'm going to go back to the coaching program because it's a better representation of this. But I have seen full programs that are built out with no sessions included. It's all content. They're self-guided. It's training based. It's learning. They've got videos uploaded. They've got forms that they use as quizzes that you can. We even have a question type called quiz that will have a right answer, so it'll tell them if they got that question right or wrong. And then you could put in, for example, like a webinar that they could sign up for as an activity inside of that continuing education. So we could definitely, our team is very closely partnered with the team at Inca. We can do any personalized demos if you've got a specific use case you'd like to go deeper on. But I've definitely seen that use case and we have customers using it that way as well.
Nice. So someone asked, does the Inca option transcribe the meeting or just the video?
Great question. I actually get this a ton through the student side. Our software right now does not have transcription services. So what most of the students are doing is one of a couple things. They use a third-party transcription option to record the audio when they're in the sessions. Also, every single session recording, let me show this here. I don't have one shown, but if you record a session through our in-app software, in-app video solution through the virtual session, that session is posted as a downloadable link or playable link from the client notes for the client or clients that were in the session. So you could go to any client record, see the recording from that session, and it's an MP4. You could download it and run it through a transcription software. So there's a couple different options. That being said, I know it's a big need, especially for the nurse coach space. So our team is assessing a couple different options. Like one option, for example, would be to use Google Meets as a location because I know they have transcription. Another option we use like personally, internally, we use Zoom and we have a tool called Fathom. So we just have Fathom join. I believe Fathom has a HIPAA compliant option. You can sign a BAA with them as well. So there's a couple different options, but our platform doesn't natively transcribe, unfortunately, right now, but we are working on that.
Okay, and there's one more. What's the difference between coaching package and coaching program?
Awesome. Great question. Mostly just branding. What we view as a package is the primary thing that you're selling is time. A package, you might still have a coaching agreement that you want them to sign. You might still have a welcome message that might be shared between the two experiences. The package tends to be mostly what I'm selling you is, or you're enrolling in if you're not selling, is time. You're getting 4 1-hour sessions with me. That's the primary value of what you're getting as the service. So a package is mostly about the sessions. A program tends to be, just in my experience working across many different customers, the more of an in-depth experience. It could be time bound. In this example, you've got like different months with different topical areas. In some case, it's not time, it's subject matter. You might be coaching on different areas of health. You can see that the amount of content between these two experiences is quite different. A program tends to be longer and more involved, whereas a package tends to be more specifically just a certain amount of sessions that you're offering. So if you're just doing coaching and you're primarily just meeting with someone every other week, you're probably going to build a package and just have that be the primary way you brand that service. You could call it a coaching program and it would be no different. It's really how you want to refer to it as, but in the way that we're demoing this, you can see this one has forms that are included throughout the service. There's a lot more sessions. There's content that they might read and learn. So you might put like knowledge-based articles in here as well. Um, what is really cool, and we'll get to offers pages and the client view here in just a sec. You may not want when a client's deciding whether they want to make a purchase or even an enrollment in one of these services, you may not want them to see that they have to complete a check-in form when they're making that decision on the offer page. So for any activity you've built in the service, we can hide it from the public offering. So like a client, when they're on this page, you can choose in this activities menu what they can and can't see. So you can make it look really clean and you can see how nicely branded this looks. But then when they get into the service, this form would open up. And then also, we'll pivot here in just a sec. For any activity you have in here, there are a lot of controls about controlling the client's journey through this process. So you'll notice I can choose when do they get access to this form. This form might open up once this session is complete, or I could say once coaching session 1 is scheduled, I want this form to open up, right? Versus I want after the completion of coaching session 1. So I can really tailor this into when the clients get access to which step. You can open up everything or you can have them go through it kind of more in a linear format. So there's a lot of choices here about design. And our team, as well as the team at Inc., are very closely aligned with helping set you up for success. I know this is a lot to take into, but what we're trying to show you is you can make it very simple, or if you have more complex business use cases, this new release that we have really has opened up a lot of options for us to help you design the service the way it needs to be for your clients.
There
And
is one more question, if that's okay.
yeah, we'll take one more and then we'll have another break here in a few for the rest.
Okay, okay. So someone said you mentioned that the software is HIPAA compliant. Is it also PIPEDA and GDPR compliant?
We are not GDPR, which is
Okay.
specific to those that are in the EU. And what was the other acronym?
So I I had to Google it to be honest. PIPEDA, and that is Canada.
Gotcha. We have a very large customer right now we are about to implement that is in Canada. We are actively going through the assessment process of the Canadian HIPAA regulate. It's not called HIPAA, but the Canadian health regulations for
Mhm.
the equivalent of HIPAA. I would imagine we should be like, if you're HIPAA compliant, I can't imagine that the Canadian regulations are that much different or more strict. I can have an answer on that in the next, 30, 45 days, but I would imagine by end of this quarter, like by December, maybe January, we should be in a really good spot for that.
Okay, thanks.
Wonderful. Keep pushing questions through and we'll pause and I can, as I said, come back around and we can go deeper on the back end of the demo as well. So just want to showcase a little bit about offers. So an offer can be used either if you're selling or not selling. The way to think about an offer is the client needs to either enroll into it through an offer to a service, or you would enroll a client to a service through an offer. So your primary offer is what's publicly available. Somebody who has access to your coaching profile can click a button and see the services that you have available. So this is your public services. All other offers, and there's an infinite amount of use cases, so it's hard for me to demo all of them. You could set up one offer for one specific client. Maybe you had somebody that couldn't pay your full coaching rate. You still wanted them to coach with you. So you're going to set up an offer. An offer has an internal title, which is only visible to you, and it's available in all reporting, and you can see it in different places. You can see the client enrolled in the service. So this might be like a special offer for, Jim's, discount offer. So this is whatever's going to help you understand what this offer is for. Then the offer can get a public facing heading. So this is what Jim will see, my services. You can add a description, optional. And then now we can add whatever services we want. So I already have this service set up on another offer, but I can now offer Jim maybe just this one coaching package with 4 sessions instead of at $600. He can only pay $425. So I'm going to go ahead and let Jim specifically pay for this at the lower rate. I can set this up to allow him to enroll himself. And then also if Jim wants to buy this more than once, he can. If I turn this off, then he can only buy it one time. You'll see here that little yellow exclamation mark appeared again. That tells us it's in a saved but not published mode. I'll go ahead and click publish, and now this is ready to go. You could then do a couple things. You could send this offer directly to him if he was already in your client list. You could copy the link to the offer and send it to Jim via email, send it to him first through secure messaging. There's a couple different ways you could do this. But now Jim can specifically enroll through this $425 offer. And if we go back to that package and we go to the clients menu, you would see Jim along with your other client. So he wouldn't go into some other service. They would all be in the same service. And you would see these two clients came in from your primary offer. We know that was where the default uh, uh, $600 cost is. And then you would actually see a link for Jim's offer that you could click on, and it would take you back to the offer that he signed up through. So this gives you great visibility using offers for either specific clients. Another use case of this that could work really well, I've seen this a ton across many different types of businesses, but even in nurse coaching, is if you get connected, say, with a business. So let's say you're selling nurse coaching services as part of a wellness package that an employer might want to offer their employees at a discount. You could set up an offer of your same services, but brand it with that business's name. So it's really personalized so that those employees have a link. You could then see all of the employees who signed up for any services through that link. And then you could report on that back to the employer to show them all of the value you're providing their business. So there's a lot of ways that offers could be very powerful. Um, and they're very flexible. So that's also brand new. Um, and in a minute here, I'm going to take you through the process of the offer to the client enrollment here in just a sec. Secure messaging, I'll just show this real quick. So maybe you get a client enrollment, you want to send them a message. Secure messaging is really a two-way chat. I'm going to caveat this. I don't like pitching future functionality, but we are in the process of upgrading this. So we are going to have a new secure messaging feature in the next 3 months. Right now, it's very much like as if you're sending a text. There's not a lot of formatting. You can add attachments. This is very much just like a two-way chat message. We'll be adding more features such as being able to add advanced formatting, adding videos, different links, things like that. So for right now, just know that it's more of like a two-way chat. If you did want to send a more robust message to the client, maybe you met with them, you took a whole bunch of formatted notes. On any client record, you'll see this notes area. Here you have a whole host of formatting options. You could add notes this way, bullet points, numbers. We have hyperlinks, videos, images, file attachments. You can click out, the note saves. By default, every note you add to a client record is private to you. No admin can see it. It's only protected. You can see it. At the note level, you can choose manage access, and you can choose to grant the client access to this note. So you can put in more advanced notes, flip it around and share it with the client if you want. Completely optional though. Forms, we have a lot of different forms capabilities. Forms can be added into an engagement or forms can be standalone. This is, I like to be very clear, this is not like where you upload a PDF and then you can apply a signature on top of that. This is very much a question engine builder. So you pick the type of, you give the form a name, you give it a description, you can upload a little avatar if you want, and then you can build out your form questions. You can add quiz, short answer, single choice, file uploads, signatures, multiple choice. And then forms can be attached or included in things. So you can have a form that is part of a booking workflow for an individual session, or you could have a form that's an activity inside of an engagement that we just talked about. So there's a lot of different ways to use forms. And then on payments, this will not be available for current students. If you do connect an account, you will not be able to sell any services, but for any graduating students or any alumni, you'll be able to connect a Stripe standard account that will allow you to view and see all of your client purchases directly in Stripe, as well as here on a payments menu. You can do full and partial refunds of any service that might come through. There is no additional cost in terms of commission charges to use the platform to sell. So there is zero service fee applied from MNCP. Stripe does have a service fee. It's typically 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. So to give you just an idea, on a $100 purchase, that's usually $3.20 that Stripe will charge you. Nobody can get around that. That's just Stripe service fees, but there's no additional cost other than the licensing to use this for payments. And then on the report side, we actually have brand new dashboards coming in the next 2 weeks. So this packages dashboard is going away. We have a brand new engagements dashboard that's coming in. And then you'll have a sessions dashboard and a transactions dashboard that will show you. I can show you the sessions right here, although I don't know that there'll be any data in here yet. Um, I'll show you a screenshot of a real one here in a minute. There's a whole bunch of different dashboards that you can have access to with data. And then all dashboards have download options, and you can download those. Anything that's in a table, you could download in CSV, XLSX, which is basically just Excel. JSON is if you're tech savvy and an engineer, so I would just avoid that. Most people will want to download in Excel. If this one is an image, you'll also have the option of PNG if you wanted to download it in image format too. Let's really quick go through some scheduling, and then we'll flip over to client view, and then I'll open it for have about 15 minutes for questions. So on the scheduling side, we talked about connecting your calendar. I have one synced right now. It doesn't say external event and external calendar block. I put those names in my external calendar. Whatever event name you have will appear here from your external internally. Another thing that we have scheduling wise is you have the ability when scheduling a session. Let's say I want to book something on Saturday, but my calendar's unavailable. A client would not be able to book at that time, but I can pick any date and any time and flip on date override, and I can book midnight to midnight at any time that I want. And so you don't have to exit and go change your calendar availability to book over an existing session, over an external event, or outside of your setup availability. So this gives you a ton of flexibility when you're scheduling to manage your calendar however you need to. You can pick the client, there's search capabilities. In this case, it's a free discovery session, and you can send them a message. Also, in the next couple weeks, we have a brand new feature coming where you'll be able to send a confirm session as long as that session isn't require the client to pay. So if you've already pre talked with a client that you're going to be meeting at Tuesday at 10 a.m., instead of sending them a request that they have to accept, you'll just be able to send them the session as confirmed. So that's coming in the next, as I said, 1 to 2 weeks. We're very excited. Um, is a good time to pause before I go through the last step, which will be the client view and the offers workflow. Any quick questions we want to cover now?
Yep, there's two questions. The first one is, can we set expiration dates on certain offers?
Yes, you can. So let's say Jim's offer is good for on a specific date. It's going to expire on the 26th. So the offer link will always be good, but once the offer expires, Jim would be redirected back to your primary offer.
Perfect. The next question is, I already have Square for payment. Will that be difficult?
We don't integrate with Square, so to say will it be difficult, if you get approved for a Stripe account and you want to have anybody that might come in virtually through the system pay for the service through Stripe, you can just connect Stripe to your bank account and that'll all flow through. If you say, like, let's give you an example of maybe you've taken payment in, was it Square? I think you just said. If you've taken payment outside of the platform, you can enroll, it's called granting a service. So if somebody's already paid you, but they paid you outside the platform, right here, there's a few different ways we can do this. I'll show you a simple way right now. This grant service button will allow you to pick any service and bypass the payment. So if you took the money in another system, even though right here it says $600, if I grant the access, this client is not going to be charged. They're not going to be prompted to complete a payment. You will have already taken the money. They will just get it for free inside MNCP because they've already paid you. But if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how Stripe works, if you're interested in kind of assessing the benefits or pros and cons of coming online for the payment side, I'd be happy to set up a call.
Okay, I think that is all the questions for now.
Great. All right, so next, let's use this example of a coaching package. So as we think about I'm going to use the example of you're setting up a new practice because I think that's a good starting point for a lot of people. When you think about, do I have to build a website? Where do I set up a profile? How do I get clients the ability to like click my services and complete a purchase? This gives you a good starting place. We do have many people that have their own websites, actually a ton of our clients do. They have their own websites and they would like put links on their website to the service pages that they would sell. So that you would click a link, it would take you to the offer, or it would take you to the service landing page is what we call this. And the client can complete the purchase this way. When you click this link, it will take you into a workflow. Because they're about to make a purchase, if they have not registered yet as a client, it will give them the option to add a password to set up their client account. And the reason we need that information is because they're going to need a place to log in to access the service that they're purchasing. So they'll see here, in this case, I've already enrolled in this service. This one's not set up for, let me do this. Well, I'm not going to go back. You would click it, it would open up the payment screen. You would put in your credit card and information. MNCP does not need to be PCI compliant because Stripe is handling 100% of the transaction storage information. So the credit card is actually stored in Stripe and it's fully secure. So we do not store anything related to the credit card information. We will push the information to Stripe, who will process the card, store the information. You will see the client transaction and client account in your Stripe account. When we get back that that transaction went through successfully, the client will be registered in the service. Let's just say they were purchasing the health coaching program. As soon as they click buy or purchase and it's successful, they're going to land inside the coaching program before anything else. So you can see here now the name of this client is MNCP client, so it wouldn't have the word client here. I just named it that. But it will personalize the welcome message for you. You can put in anything you want here, a video, text. You could delete it if you didn't want this. There's a next activity button. They can also click anything here on the left. And this is the real client experience. You can see I've got all this content kind of nested in here, but it's hidden. So it looks really clean when they land. And as they go through at next activities, they can go in and submit their information. Click submit, and you'll see that goes to a green checkbox. On Monday, when they click submit, it'll just take them to the next activity. That's getting updated right now. Here's an agreement I can sign. And then now my coaching sessions open up. So they can click this little back arrow. And this is their client landing page. So we often recommend in the program menu to put a little instruction about like bookmarking the platform, making sure they know how to register and get back. That being said, there are email confirmations that are going for most of the activities. So once they've registered, they'll have a link in their email. If they book a session, they'll get a session confirmation with a link that takes them back to the platform. So we try to make that very easy for them. If you're selling sessions or just offering sessions, clients have the ability to add a calendar sync. So if they want those sessions to be automatically added to their calendar, they can just connect a calendar right here. And then any activity that's open, so you may restrict session scheduling until after the client intake form is complete, in which case they would only see a button for the form. But you can see here that this consent form, needs to be signed. Now that that's signed, I come back here, you see that step went away. So from their home page, they're constantly being redirected back into the next call to action. And they can either click into the program, or for sessions, they could just schedule right here. And now this is what the scheduling looks like. You can see the dates and the times that are available. They click continue. They can add a note, send it to you, you'll receive it, click confirm, and then it will say they've requested the session. Now, if the session was set up to auto confirm, it would automatically confirm the booking. If this comes to you for approval, you'll get an email, you'll get a notification in the system. If you've opted into SMS text reminders, you will also get a text letting you know that a booking request has been submitted. And then I'll show you this one last piece. You can accept from your email, and there's also a nice big blue button right here. We click accept. You'll see the session is now confirmed. And there's a join session button. You also have a link in the email that was just sent to you as well. So that's kind of a good deep dive. Here's the client view of secure messaging. If the client has forms assigned to them separately, they can find those here. We keep the client experience quite simple so that it's very easy for them to navigate. And this nice, beautiful new menu we have on the left shows them their journey. They can hide completed steps if they want, and they can see their progress in the top right. So with that, I'm going to pause. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Feel free to stay on and ask any questions. I can stay on as long as we need to.
Thank you so much. So we have oh, yep, two questions. So what's the pricing structure?
Awesome. So we have, I will give you the pricing for the individuals for the person that asked about teams. We'll need to talk about that offline. But the pricing for graduates of the, hold on one sec. Let me get the pricing. There we go. So for INCCP graduates, the pricing, we offer either annual or monthly. So you can choose the option that works best for you. Paying monthly is $79 a month, or the annual is $869 for the year. Basically, the way we like to think about that is for the price of less than one paid session a month, you get your full suite of business tools included in that. So that's kind of like the target. We are always working with nurse coaches to try to make sure they're getting to that first paid session because that's covering the cost of the license, and everything from there is upside. There is no incremental cost on the platform. So you could have 1,000 clients, 100 services. There's no growth costs. Everything is an unlimited license for us. You can have an unlimited amount of sessions, unlimited recordings. At least right now, there's nothing that's incrementally above that price point. And then if you are not an INCCP graduate, um, but you are interested in signing up, it's $10 more per month. It's $89, or it's $979 per year. And then we will send out the pricing as well as sign up links. And if anybody has any questions or wants to talk licensing or sorry, subscriptions, or has a issue related to signing up for anything, there is a form link we can send you as well. You can submit a ticket into our team and we'll be happy to help.
Great. And that was actually the next question too about you already covered that. And somebody else said thank you so much. And I guess that's all for now.
Yep. I will just one quick caveat for those that are still on. For anybody, we'll push this out in the email as well. Um, our team directly supports the technical side of the platform. So you are getting a system expert when you're working with the support side of the team. We're very quick to respond. You can open up a support ticket. It comes right into our group. The other thing is if anybody is a student that's graduating, if you sign up for a license within 30 days of your graduation, we'll offer 2 free one-on-one personalized sessions to support your implementation. So there's a great value to that on our team. It's not a group format. We'll just help you get your account set up. And then same thing, if you're not a graduate, that's totally fine. Anybody that signs up within 10 days of this demo will offer the same thing too. So our team's very accessible. We're very excited to work together. And we have a lot of new features that just came out. So I'm really excited about the platform right now.
Yeah, so we have a couple of people asking for your contact info, how to sign up for this platform. Yep.
Perfect. We'll coordinate how best to put the right parties in touch for the different needs. But yeah, we'll definitely make sure you've got access to
And
getting
a
your
follow-up
answered.
email, right? We'll send you an email after this webinar with all of that info.
Perfect.
You can sign up and know who to talk to. All right. Oh, oh, yep. Someone's just saying thank you. So that's wonderful. Yep, that's all for tonight. So thank you so much to all the nurses who joined us tonight. I know everyone is from all over the world, so I hope these gatherings really connect our nurse coach community and make us feel a little closer when we might be far in distance. And a huge thank you to you, Britton, for creating this amazing platform with Ronnie and
Yeah, yeah.
and your team, and truly helping to elevate the nursing practice and especially nurse coaches.
Thank
So,
you. I tell Ronnie all the time that this is my absolute favorite group to work with. So
oh,
I mean that sincerely. Like I really get a lot of value partnering with you guys. So look forward to working together.
I know we always have lots of questions for you, and you do a great job at explaining everything to us. So thank you. And we will see everybody at the next Nurse Coach gathering. Good night, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.